Good morning, class of 2020, class of Vision. Our purpose today is just to welcome you back to the building this year, give you some reminders, and introduce you to your home office staff. So in introducing the home office staff, I am Mr. Edwards. I have anyone with the last name of A through K. This is Mrs. Lynn, last names L through Z. Also, 3 counselors back in F40 this year, Mrs. Flacco, last names A through G, Dr. Yetter, H through M, and Mr. Feeney, N through Z. Also have our 2 secretaries back with us again this year to F40, Mrs. Mancino and Mrs. Tranzu, who will do attendance. First thing that we want to cover this morning are just some reminders in terms of having respect for yourself. Our dress code this year, it's really the same dress code that we've had in the past. However, we are going to reinforce a few things. Number one being hoods this year. We want to make sure that we have an emphasis on making sure that your hoods are down. We don't mind that the hats are on, but we want to make sure that we see your faces. We like seeing your faces anyway, so make sure that those hoods are down. We will reinforce them this year, our teachers and also our administration. Plagiarism is another one. Plagiarism and cheating, we want to make sure that we go over that. The big thing and the big focus for that, more so than anything, is you're seniors this year and you're going into college next year. So we want to make sure that you really emphasize doing your best work. For the most part, all of those transcripts are already sent off to colleges. So we really want to see your work, not to mention the fact that if that were to happen next year when you're in college, there's a very good chance that you'd be removed from the college anyway for those types of things, some pretty severe penalties. So do your best work. We'll be proud of you no matter what. In terms of your language, make sure that you are watching your language throughout the hallway. Remember that the high school is a community. Treat it like you're at a restaurant. If your language is appropriate for a restaurant, when you're out with your family, it would be appropriate in the hallways. So make sure that you clean it up a little bit. We don't want to hear the F-bombs so much in the hallways. Be respectful of people. In terms of tobacco, drugs, and alcohol, pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, we've had quite an emphasis within the past year on vaping and vapes. Any of those dab pens that has THC in it, we will be enforcing those just as if you would have marijuana here at the school. So make sure that you keep it away. I'm not going to be naive and know that it's not happening. But make sure that it doesn't come into school and we take care of that. Have a really great senior year and we don't want any bumps along the way. The last thing is going to be in terms of weapons or lookalikes. There's been an emphasis this year just on that, some things that have happened throughout the district. So make sure that you're knowing, obviously, that you can't bring anything into the school that would resemble a weapon, that would be considered a weapon. Any of those are expellable offenses. And also a reminder to anybody that's a tech school student and goes over to North Monco, if you're over at North Monco and you're using a tool that would be considered a tool over at North Monco, but yet you bring it over here to the high school, it is now changed from a tool to a weapon depending on the environment you're in. So make sure you keep those things in mind throughout the year. I hope you guys have an awesome year. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too.
Well, thank you, Mr. Edwards. I want to talk to you about responsibility. First and foremost, you can be responsible for yourself. So think about that as we go through some of these things. Take responsibility for you and your actions. First and foremost, let's talk about being at school on time. As a senior, you have senior privilege for some of you for either no school period 1 or late arrival. If you were fortunate enough to get a study hall first period, you're able to come in late for school and come in for the start of second period, or in some cases, even the start of third period. With that, all students must sign in. We need to know when you enter in the building. You still sign in if you come in late during the day, maybe at the front desk with security, but you still need to sign in the office. So those students who have no school period 1 or late arrival, outside Mr. Nicholson's office, there's that new stage and the beautiful TV screen now. Behind that is a room called F10, and that's where for these first couple days, you may already have discovered it, but that's where you'll sign in with Ms. Tranzu and Mr. Martelier. So those students who are coming in later in the day, you still need to stop by F40 so that you can get a pass to get into your class. With that, you also need permission to leave school early. And you need a pass to leave school and check out at the front desk. So if you have a doctor's appointment, aren't feeling well, whatever the case may be, you need to stop by F40. There's a sign-out book there. You can't just come in and sign yourself out. You need to actually get a pass. And the only exception to that is for those students who have no school period 8. You are free to leave after your last scheduled period, or your last scheduled class, in fact. Continuing on with responsibilities, one of the things you're responsible to bring to school every day is your Chromebook. And we expect that to come fully charged and prepared for classes. Unlike last year, where if you forgot your Chromebook, we had you go down to a classroom to pick up a loaner. This year, all of that will take place through the IMC. So if you forget your Chromebook or if it dies during the day, stop by the IMC and they will give you a loaner for that day. As we're talking about computers and electronic devices, let's move on to the fact that we know you're all on your phones. And you like to listen to the music or whatever it may be through your earbuds. We do have the rule that you may use technology or your phone throughout the day, but if you're using earbuds, no over-the-head earphones, or you can only have one earbud in at a time. So please be mindful of that. We want to make sure you can hear directions, whether it is something in the hallway or an emergency. We just want to make sure you're able to hear what's going on around you. And the last piece of responsibility that we want to kind of just review with you is what our expectations are for you at sporting events. We expect that you come to a sporting event and you're wearing a shirt. Not too much to ask there, but keep the shirt on. We also we're not permitting noisemakers at these sporting events. And be prepared that bags will be searched at the entrances upon your entry into the sporting event. We want you to come out, we want you to be involved and show that school spirit, but we're also wanting you to keep in mind that these are some of our expectations for that. So we're really excited for a great senior year. There's a lot of things for us to do and activities coming up, and we're going to actually turn this over to the counselors to talk a little bit more about our 4 R's and our expectations, and then our class advisors will be joining us to go over some exciting things that are coming our way.
Yeah, it's going to be a great year.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards, and thank you, Mrs. Lynn. Hi, everybody. Dr. Yetter here. Just want to follow up with the 4 R's or a continuation. So I'm going to talk a little bit about relationships. It's so important, especially during your senior year and every year, that you really take the time to build relationships. Definitely within the classroom, get to know each other, get to know your teacher, make those connections. It will make your year so much more enjoyable. Also, as you're walking in the hallway, I mean, it's just so important to maybe meet a new friend, help someone. There's a lot of new sophomores in the halls that don't know where to go, so help them out, make those connections with your peers. This is your time. This is the year to make memories, to really make lasting, lifelong memories that will bring you so much enjoyment. There's so much to offer in senior year, so get involved, make the most of it. Really, I think some other things is the relationships that you make on social media. One thing that's really important to remember, for those of you who are hopeful and leaving here to go on to a career or to college or into the armed forces, whatever your path may take you, you really need to pay attention to social media. All too often, students have made choices on social media that have come back and had a negative impact on their future. So it's really important that as you are moving forward, you really give thought to that. We don't want anything that you would do online to jeopardize your future. So it's really important to remember to always be a great citizen every day in person, but also to have great digital citizenship and be a great citizen online. So with that, I'm going to turn over to Mrs. Falaco to talk a little bit about resiliency.
Thank you, Dr. Yetter. So we want to make sure that you're still aware of all the supports that we offer in the building. They are still the same supports as we did last year. So you will have your nighttime, which is on Tuesdays after 3rd period. Your lunch study during all lunches. There is math support, which is up in B129. We are also offering 8B as well as ADAPT. ADAPT is after school on Wednesdays or during 8B. The late buses this year have changed to Wednesdays and Thursdays at 4:30. And we also want to make sure that you're aware of the counseling services that we offer. Of course, your counselors in the home office are there for you for anything that you need. But if you feel that you do need a little additional support, or you know a friend that you feel is struggling and would like some extra support, we do have a SAP program. You can go on the North Penn High School's website under Our School, and you can see a SAP referral form. There are also posters that are posted around the building with this information. information. And with that, I'm going to have Mr. Feeney follow up with some important dates.
Hello, everyone, and looking forward to starting this year off very quickly. There's a lot going on in the month of September right out of the gate. So I wanted to just make sure that you're aware of these dates as they apply to you. Not all of these things will apply to you, but some of them will. And a lot of them happen already just next week. So September 10th through 12th, if you haven't had your portrait taken yet, make sure that you're going to the website. I think it's ouryear.com, and look up our school code as well. And then make sure that you have your senior portrait in place so we don't have to exclude you from the yearbook. Also, there's a college application night. That's going to be on September 10th, the evening of September 10th. That's designed for parents, but there's also, students are welcome to attend as well. We're going to walk you through step-by-step the college application process. Mr. Brett's going to be spearheading that, and we're going to be doing a follow-up presentation on the 12th during nighttime. You're really going to want to be able to pay attention to that on the pieces that you need through this process. For those of you who went to the college application boot camp, hopefully you got to see a preview of that and you know some and are familiar somewhat with this. As well, that week we're going to be announcing the release of our transcripts. So just be aware of that part. For those of you who maybe aren't as interested in college or you're going to follow a less rigorous college application path, the activities fair is going to be really important for you. People look at the activities fair as an opportunity to kind of pad their resume or to show that they're well-rounded students. We really like the idea that you're more and more experiencing things that are in line with your personal lifelong interests as well as potential careers. So I want you to give a long look, especially if you haven't joined an activity before or checked this out. The activities fair this year is going to be split over 2 different days depending on the name of the fair. So I want you to peruse the cafeteria during both of those days. Look for activities that are going to be most likely a match or a potential interest for you in your career and or for the practice of maybe looking at jobs, internships, things like that. So if you have questions, let us know. But I think the activities fair might be a great place for you to spend some time learning more about yourself and your potential career or interest with that. As well, we're looking at early dismissal. We're going to be doing a series of early dismissal dates this year, which is the 1/12 dismissal. And we're going to be doing that first one September 18th. So we'll be getting out at 1/12. Obviously, if you have no school period 8 or career work study, the schedule will be adjusted accordingly. So just a heads up on that. And then lastly, we're going to have back to school night. This will be the last one that your folks have to attend, for you at least. So you can let them feel the experience of trying to get from class to class in 4 minutes. So maybe they cut you a break when you're complaining about the traffic in the halls. But that last one's September 26th. Okay, we're gonna have a whole slate of activities coming up in October and November, so stay tuned for that. And actually, to give you a preview on all the things that are gonna be happening in your very packed senior year, Ms. Young is going to now share about the activities upcoming.
Welcome back, class of 2020. I'm Ms. Young, and I am one of your class advisors, and we have a very exciting year this year. But first, big announcement for the class of 2020. I have a new co-advisor this year, and that is the one and only Mr. King from the science department. So Mr. King will be helping us out this year. And we've advised together before, so I'm super excited that we're back together again.
Yes, this is awesome.
It'll
I love
this.
This.
Fun.
Very excited.
Seniors, we have so much happening this year. First up, we have our Spirit Week, which you guys all know about. But this year we changed some of the days around, and Mr. King's going to tell us about it.
Right. So during Spirit Week coming up, you have Monday off that week. And then on October 1st, the Tuesday, we're doing Tie-Dye Tuesday, one of my personal favorite things to do. The second is going to be Wake Up Wednesday. So that's your pajama day. Wear your pajamas, appropriate pajamas into school. Thursday, the third is going to be Tropical Tuesday. So wear your tropical Hawaiian shirts, that sort of thing. And then, of course, on Friday, in preparation for homecoming here, is all your North Penn gear. Friday is all our North Penn stuff. Wear your North Penn stuff all day long.
Homecoming this year is super special for a big reason. It is our last game, our last time having homecoming at the current Crawford Stadium. So, speaking of which, we need to talk about homecoming and what happens up to that week. So we know each day has Spirit Day, but on Friday, October 4th is our big day. We are selling homecoming package tickets like we did last year. They are going to be $20. They're going to be on sale during all lunches Monday, September 23rd through Friday, September 27th. What does that $20 include you? And this is open to all students, all grades. What does that $20 get you? It gets you your homecoming t-shirt. It gets you your pregame tailgate and barbecue like we did last year in the courtyard. It gets you admission to the pep rally, and the pep rally has been huge the past couple years.
Love that pep rally.
Blacklight pep rally. The only way to get in is with the t-shirt, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute. Your shirt is your ticket into the pep rally. Game ticket to the game versus Souderton, and then we have the seating, the preferred student seating section in the stadium for the game. So tickets, $20. All lunches, the 23rd to the 27th. You don't want to miss out on this. And speaking of the t-shirts this year, for homecoming, our t-shirts are going to be student designed, last time in the swamp, as you guys like to call Crawford Stadium. So these t-shirts will be white, black writing, blue. We're figuring all that out still. But importantly, because the pep rally is a blacklight pep rally, these are going to look awesome. Couple surprises in there for the kids that have tickets, but for the most part, that's your $20 package. So last time in the swamp, don't miss out. The only time you're going to be able to get these shirts, because next year it'll be all new Crawford Stadium.
Thank goodness. Looking forward to that.
Super, super exciting. All right, next up, we have to talk about the class trip. Switch this over, sorry. Class trip information, guys.
Here you go.
All right, so it will be here before we know it. Class trip is going to be March 26th through March 31st. This is the thing I think Mr. King is most excited about, our class trip.
I love Disney.
So fun, all right? And this is another, you guys are so lucky this year. We have so many things that are first for this group.
This is great. This is really
so,
exciting.
last time at Crawford Stadium, as it is now, last pep rally, you know, as far as everything happening with the stadium renovations, but you guys are going to be the first year to experience some things in Disney that we've never done on a trip before. So, if you're interested in going to Florida on the class trip, it's March 26th through March 31st. We go down for 5 nights, 6 days. The trip costs $1,500, and that includes your round trip air, 5 nights hotel, all your park tickets, transportation, meal vouchers, and then as many memories as you can think of. If you've talked to any classmen that have gone already when they were a senior, they will all tell you the same thing. It is so fun.
It's a great time.
It's just a blast. It's one of those things you just don't want to miss out on. So we did have payments accepted at the end of your junior year. So if you are still interested in going on the trip, 100% possible at this point. Payment in full, though, is due by November 22nd, and that is a firm date. It's a Friday. It's right before we leave for a break. So we need to get that money in, get everybody signed up. You can take payments to F40. You can give them to Mrs. Mancino down there, or Mr. Edwards, Mrs. Lynn, whoever's down there. You can give them your payments. If you have any questions about that, feel free to email one of us. And be sure to join our Disney Google Classroom if you have not already. Code is on the screen. There are over 400 of you already joined in this classroom. So a lot of people are interested, which is super exciting. Our goal is to have at least 3 planes this year. Last year we took down 2 full planes. This year we're going for 3 full planes. And a couple changes are happening. First of all, I don't know if anyone's heard, but the new Star Wars will be open at Hollywood Studios, which is a huge deal. Mr. Fry, Mr. Fluck, Mr. King are pumped.
And I've done it in Los Angeles this summer. It is great. You're going to love it.
So if you're a Star Wars person, even if you're not, I think it's going to be awesome to see. We saw peeks of it last year when we were there, and it looks super, super cool. The second thing that's new this year is we are changing hotels. In the past, we've stayed at All-Star Sports. This year, we're staying at Pop Century. It's newly renovated, so the rooms are brand new and super nice. And Disney is just opening a new mode of transportation called the Disney Skyliner, which are gondolas that go in there like ski gondolas. They hold, I believe, close to 20 people in these gondolas, and our hotel is one of the stops.
Right, it
so
takes
instead,
you to all the other
it takes you to the parks.
Yeah.
So instead of waiting in line for buses, things like that, we now have 2 ways to get in and out of the park. So we are one of the few groups that was able to book our trip ahead of time to get into that hotel. So we're super excited about
awesome.
that. Very neat. So that's new for you guys, and we've never done it before. So we're excited to bring that to 2020.
So, yeah, so
Okay.
a lot of firsts.
And
then
finally,
one other thing, don't forget we have senior apparel for sale. You'll notice there's all kinds of things on there. There's sweatshirts, T-shirts, what do we have, hoodies, blankets,
you name
all kinds of stuff. And if you look, the shirts where it says NP, where you have that big NP, all the names are in there. So it's very personalized. It's a really nice kind of a memento of your senior year here at North Penn. And
We will do this sale prior to leaving for winter break. So the whole point of doing this early in the year is we want you guys to be able to wear what you buy, and sweatshirts and hoodies and zip-ups. All those items are yours if you buy them. We'll get information out as soon as we finalize all the details, but it will be happening probably in October, our sale.
Yeah, we're just getting that tied up now, so that'll be out
Yep,
soon.
so it'll be great.
But just look at these things. This is from a previous class, obviously, but it gives you an idea of some of the things that you'll have available.
And you can personalize it, so whatever you want to do.
Right.
So lots happening right now in the year, but all fun things. Senior year is so exciting. I'm so excited for you guys.
Yeah.
So.
Very excited. See you
And we're
guys.
excited that Mr. King's here, so have a great day, everybody.
Great one.